Simmers, I'm back with another speed build. You'll be hearing some clicking and some other noises as I'm just recording this off the computer. My mic was making scratching noises. This build is one of 5 houses I'm going to be building. As you can see up on the screen, there is a lot divided into 6. Each lot has two color pairs in it. If you play Magic the Gathering, you'll probably recognize those color pairings. The next expansion for Magic the Gathering is a magical school, which pairs opposite colors to make the different schools. So I figured I'd build a house with those colors in mind for each house. I've decided to put them all in the lot here in Glimmerbrook, since that was the house built for the lot, not the house, the world built for Realm of Magic. So I figured it was the most appropriate one. And I'm starting with the green-black color pairing. So most of the decorating and all that will be focusing in on green and black objects. The point of this was I just wanted to kind of challenge myself and take 2 things I like and put them together, which is The Sims and Magic. With the Witherbloom, they're about, because it's green and black, it's potions, life, death, stuff like that. So I went with more of a cottage style for this. It's a bit ran down, there'll be cracks and stuff in walls and that. And it's going to be very overgrown. So that's the idea I had with this. As you can see, it's a 2-story build with the upstairs is going to have the bedroom and the main bathroom. The lower floor contains the kitchen, the dining / greenhouse, the living space, and a half bath. There will be a lot of landscaping. It's going to be a bit more random, more wild, so more overgrown. So the property is cared for, but not overly cared for. I realized after I kind of shaped the stairs that they weren't going to fit, so this house ends up with a ladder going upstairs. And this is where I start working at the rooms. I eventually move those walls and make the bathroom 4x2. There's no light in the dining area because, well, it's outside. And in the greenhouse area, I might put a candelabra in it later when I go to upload it. As of right now, there isn't. I tried to stick with items from Realm Magic for some of the exterior stuff for this. The key point in this was trying to stick to the color palette best I could. So as you can see, putting out some flooring, just doing some simple stuff. I put a pond. I eventually used the pool and put green water in it to make it look more swampish. And then I started doing landscaping. I did a lot of landscaping on the outside. There's a lot of ivy on the building. I did use some of the dead-looking ivy as well to continue the theme of life and death that I have in it. I'm probably going to use the common space to do sizing for some stuff, because the space that I have for each one of the houses is quite small. They're 15 by 13 square spaces with the common lot and the common and the spot adjacent to it in the middle, both being 14 by 15, just because you can't divide the space up evenly. So the middle ended up being a bit larger than the outside edges. The gardening, as you can see, it's meant to look overgrown and wild. I think I spent a good portion of while I was thinking of what furniture I wanted and all that, working on the outside. There will be a ton of plants on the inside, again, going with the ideas. When I read the description of the Witherbloom house, they tend to deal with potions and that, so I figured they'd need a lot of plants. So they pretty much grow a lot of their ingredients. The greenhouse will have planters in it. By the time I do the build tour, there'll be actual magic plants growing in there, and probably some other plants growing around the lot, probably some mushrooms, and that just to add to the feel of it. I put in a dead tree. I might add a bit more landscaping before I do the build tour, which will be a separate video itself when I have all 5 lots completed. So for the next couple of speed builds, which I've decided instead of spreading it over 5 weeks of speed builds, I'm going to take it and do this speed build this week, 2 speed builds for the next 2 weeks, and the following week, after I have all the builds done, I will do the common area, do any tweaking and changes to what I want the builds to look like, and do the build tour then. And wow, there's a lot of ivy on this place. But it does help give the idea that it's kind of overgrown. Like, there's no real rhyme or reason to all the plants. And it was so annoying because it kept on clipping up to the roof where I didn't want it. So I had to start raising things with the 9 button, kind of get where I wanted, and then press the 9 button until I got it up to the height that I wanted. Since this is more of a cottage type idea, I went with the kit pack for the cabinets and shelves. I used Realm of Magic for the appliances. And we have a disappearing cauldron, by the way. I put a cauldron up on the counter. I shrunk it down and put it on the counter. And then when I came back to do some other work, it was gone. I have no idea what happened to it. I didn't delete it. It just moved. And no, I didn't bring us in to do any changing of lighting or anything with the move cheat off. So here we're working on the greenhouse dining area. I figured I wanted it to be a little bit different, so we have the table and chairs more in the corner. I took away one of the chairs and then just start putting plants on the other side. And unlike my previous videos, I didn't edit the spinning. I'll try to make sure I do that for the next for the video on Monday. But I really actually like how this turned out, and given the challenges with it is of just focusing on 2 colors to make and trying to build within partial restrictions. Again, with them going back to being doing a lot of potions. I probably should be rubbing my hands because you're probably hearing that. All the plants that I hung up on the walls are like herbs and stuff they need for their potions that they brew. I've debated between the two cabinets. I picked the one that I'm keep moving around right now because it kind of fit with the motif I went for of them brewing potions. And just kind of getting up a few paintings. In the end, I do like how this works. Here's me shrinking it, and as you can see in the video, I raise up, put it on the counter. I put it in a spot that it shouldn't disappear from, but it does. I don't know when or how. I might, when I go to do the next build, which haven't quite figured out which color pairing I'm going to do next. I might move the counter and see if the pot ended up underneath the counter, which it shouldn't have. But I need to figure out where it went, and I'm just going to move it to one of the counters at the center of the house. Yes, there's a TV. There's no computer in this house. I didn't think it fit with what I was doing, but there is a desk that when up in the bedroom that you can delete the book that I put on it and put a computer there if you want to, if you go to download this once I upload the entire lot. I really wish there was a way that you could select just sections of a lot. Well, I think there is. It just means I'd have to upload it and then download it on a smaller lot and put the house by itself and go through and do that for each of the individual houses. I might do that as well. So you might have the main lot with the 5 houses and then 5 additional uploads with each individual house being up there. Some of the challenges is trying to find wallpapers that I like that worked with, again, working with the color motifs that I have. I've limited myself to. So it's going to be coming up with ideas for each of the houses. When I was looking through it, there's a couple of ideas I have for at least three of the other houses. The red white one, they are more archaeologist based, so I know what I can do with that. The red blue is more passionate and creative, so that's not going to be that hard to do. And the green blue is more mathematical and life based. I tried to use this book, and here's where you can see the pot was there. I didn't delete it, and now it was gone. I think that was me also going, where did I thought there was a pot there. I actually think probably in my head, I'm like, oh, maybe I deleted it. It's the last color pairing of the black and white. I think I'm going to have the most problem with trying to figure out what their motif and that will be. I might have to sit and kind of reread the description of that house again, just so I can make sure that they all kind of fit into what I want. Here's me making it look a little bit more round down by adding some cracks and holes in the wall. So it's full of life with all the plants and all that, but the house is older, kind of decaying, which again fits into the 2 colors. Life about everything blooming and kind of growing, and the black being more death and decay and rotting. I need to look through the live edit catalog, see if there's any fallen over logs or anything I can use. And here we go with even more ivy. But again, I think it works. There might be more when I do the build tour. So I figured I had the downstairs all kind of done. So I started to move on to the upstairs. I decided it was a single student who lives here, so one bed being key to it. There we jump from when I was recording earlier to the later part of the recording. And working on the bathroom was so difficult because of the walls being on the exterior. To drop the normal wall height down, the roof stays there, so I kind of have to work with this odd angle. And if I drop them all the way down, I wouldn't be able to put up stuff like as the toilet paper or the mirror and that. So I had to work with the weird angles for the entire upstairs just because of that, because of having the roofs like that. But it helped make it kind of feel more cottagey. Kind of in my head, to me, the sunroom or greenhouse was more of a later addition to the house. It was added after the main part of it was built. But trying to come up, like I said, it was actually a lot of fun and had a good challenge. The only thing is, when you do sort by green, every plant comes up because it doesn't just go by the pots. It goes by if they have green in them at all, which includes a lot of the leaves in that. So it became very much just picking plants. I tried to stick with mostly all green plants. Yeah, you do use some stuff that has some flowers and that, just so it had a little bit more color, a little bit more life. But overall, I kind of liked how this turned out. Went looking for one item, realizing afterwards that it only comes in one color, and it wasn't red or green, but I wanted it, which was the inkwell, to go with the whole. Um, to me, it felt more magical, and that. So yeah, that's the book you can delete to put a computer there. To me, that's one of their notebooks they use to write down what they've learned, some of the potions they're working on, and that. There's a few pieces of art I kind of wish had black frames instead of the white frames, but I still use them because they fit into the motif. You'll see them uh, coming up shortly. But in the end, I actually think the idea behind this place turned out really well. The more landscaping I put into it at the end was just, I figured I hit the inside. The hallway has no decorations in it. I might go back and add maybe a painting or some of those wreaths into it, just so that when your sim walks through there, they don't get the blah, it has no decoration thing. I do end up using some, and I'm going to use them on each lot. There's going to be crystals matching the colors of the two colors I picked. So there will be green and black crystals on this lot, and that got tongue tied there for a second, and that on the other lots I delete that, and then I realized I didn't put out decorate the bathroom, so I had to uh, put it back, put the red shelf back in, just so I could get the toothbrush and the soap onto the counter. Well, onto the sink, so that it seemed like the right thing. So I think that more or less finishes the inside of this with some corrections I'll probably do before I do the build tour. And now we're into the landscaping, more landscaping. One of the things I did do with the crystals is I stuck some lights that you probably use them in the pool or something. They're flat to the ground, and then I kind of enlarged the crystal and stuck them over top of it. In my head, it's to make the crystals glow. It doesn't quite work that way, but it was the idea I had. And I might do some more landscaping around the back and all that before I upload it. And yes, when I go to upload, the fencing that's dividing up each of the spaces will be removed. That was just to help me keep in my head, okay, this is how much space I have for each of these builds. This was kind of neat. I'm actually looking forward to doing the rest of the builds, as since it is taking two things I do like, The Sims and Magic, putting them together. I wish there's some more items. Here's where I was testing it. You see, they kind of glow, but they kind of don't. But I'm fine with that. It was more just I wanted that kind of idea. So the next build will be up on Monday. It won't be a build tour. It'll be the next speed build, which will be the next lot I pick. I'm leaning towards doing the green blue next, and then I might do the red white, because the corners are going to be the ones that are going to be hard to get my screen caps. So leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you want to, and until my next video, Susu.